And welcome back, everyone, once again to the Diecast Dude Racing Network, your home for the Survivor Series. It is round 3. We are about to whittle this down to 4 drivers here, and this group will consist of Numbskull in the BMW, Lucas in the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, Papa Pugsley in the Audi Sport, and Daddy G in the Alfa Romeo 33 Straddle. And these cars have been beaten up, and they have given you everything they've got to make it here to round 3 with a chance at the finals on the line. It is one of 8 laps here as they are down and away. Numbskull through the divided 180. It's going to be Lucas crashing into the chicanes. Meanwhile, up front, it's Numbskull through the 270. Numbskull with the finish line in sight. And Numbskull will win. Daddy G will come in second. Papa Pugsley, he'll be your third place driver here in lap 1, and it is an 11.530 by Numbskull, setting the mark there in lap number 1. Let's take a look at Lucas in the 3000 GT pulling a DNF. That is it in a nutshell. The Survivor Series. You've got to survive. He's done a great job, these drivers, making it to round 3, but we see Lucas just gets it all wrong. He overcorrects through the divided 180 and just leaves it hanging up on the curb. Luckily, to avoid hitting those construction workers, that could have been dangerous. Meanwhile, Numbskull up front, he's going to have that BMW dialed in. He's been waiting for round 3 for quite a while now, and that BMW gets to the finish line quick and in a hurry, and again, they set the mark at 11.530, and Numbskull gives the shot to Daddy G on the way by just to let him know that he's not going anywhere, and this is going to be a long round. Numbskull with your early lead, Daddy G in second, Papa Pugsley third, and Lucas of EP Videos, he will have the DNF, yet to register a point, but he will be on the front row for lap number 2 as they are down and away. Numbskull gets the BMW out in front to the divided 180 there into the open track, and it's Numbskull with the early lead, and he's got Daddy G behind him, but Daddy G slides out, and it's Numbskull through the 270, Numbskull all the way home, and Numbskull winning his second race in a row, and it's going to be a 12.135 for that team. And I thought so. Papa Pugsley rolling the Audi Quattro halfway down the midsection of the track. Let's take a look and see what happens right here as everyone gets into the open track just fine. Lucas seems to have that car dialed back in now. Daddy G sliding out, leaving the door wide open for Numbskull, so he takes his foot off the accelerator, heads right for the finish line, and there you see Papa Pugsley just rolling into the 270. Problems with that car, and it will be another second place finish for Daddy G, and it will be Lucas finishing in third, and Papa Pugsley with the DNF. It is time for lap number 3. The drivers have rotated around once again. Papa Pugsley, he'll be on the inside of the front row. Lucas, he'll be on the outside of the front row. Daddy G and Numbskull, they'll start in the back row. And it's going to be Lucas with the 3000 GT through the chicanes first as he hits the open track. He's got Numbskull all behind him. He puts the block on Numbskull left. He puts the block on right. And he gets turned around sideways. And he's in reverse. And Numbskull's on his side. And they will finish Lucas first. Daddy G second, Papa Pugsley third, and Numbskull with a very rare DNF as he put a hit on Lucas, couldn't keep the momentum, and he leaves that BMW on its top. Again, a very rare DNF for that team. As we take a look at Lucas as he gets into turn 3 very cleanly. Numbskull's trying to get through him, and Lucas just puts on the blocks, but he gets carried away himself here. He turns that 3000 GT on its side, we see right here, and there goes Numbskull trying to barrel through him, but he just loses all momentum, and that car drops down to the apron onto its roof. Meanwhile, Lucas in reverse, he will pick up the win. He will set his time at 13.235, and it will be a wrap there for race number 3. And after 3, Numbskull still in the lead with 10 points. Daddy G in second with 9 points. And Lucas with 7. Papa Pugsley still yet to get off that mark with 2 third places and a DNF. He'll have to get something going. At least he's back on the front row. This time he'll be on the outside of the front row. But he'll have he'll have Daddy G to deal with in that Alfa Romeo 33 straddle as they take off. And it's going to be Daddy G with the early lead. He's got some speed behind him in Numbskull. The two of them together with the aerodynamics get pushed and they start taking off and they separate themselves from the field. Daddy G getting all of that clean air as they get into the 270 and they get bottled up at the bottom of the 270 and it will be Numbskull. He hits the gas and he gets around Papa Pugsley and it's a very slow 15.818, but it is a win nonetheless. And for Papa Pugsley, who looked like he was going to get nothing, he scratches 3 points out of the deal, finishing second with that Audi Quattro. Let's take another look as they come out of the 270. And it's just a nightmare right here for Daddy G. He's on his top already. He gets turned around, and they just get all bottled up. Lucas, he ends up on his top. Papa Pugsley, and Numbskull find themselves on the right side of the wreck, and they just have to hit the gas, or in Papa Pugsley's case, the reverse. They make it to the finish line, and Numbskull with 15 points, starting to pull away now. Daddy G, even with the DNF, he's still in second place. Lucas and Papa Pugsley are going to have to really get working here with just the 7 points as we are halfway through. We're on to lap 5. It will be Numbskull as they seed themselves exactly the way they started. Numbskull with a problem. He holds up Lucas, and it's going to be Daddy G on his way with the Alfa Romeo. He's got Papa Pugsley back there, and Daddy G with all the clean air and the speed as he gets to the 270, and he wrecks it out, and Papa Pugsley gets around him, and Numbskull goes right through Daddy G. He gets to the finish line, tries to block Lucas, but Lucas touches his nose across the checkered flag. He'll pick up the third place win, and for Daddy G and that Alfa Romeo just having all kinds of handling issues, this time they go right into the billboard, taking out the signs. Let's see if we can see what happens here as he comes through the 270 all alone with that clean air. The back end just gets lifted. Off the track it goes. And we see Papa Pugsley here. He's the first to approach the scene, but he handles it beautifully, just like Dodge Barrel Round. Gets around Papa Pugsley, and my goodness, Numbskull, he just deposits Daddy G off the track. He tries to hold up Lucas, but Lucas manages again to touch that bumper right across the finish line. And after 5 races, Numbskull, 18 points. Papa Pugsley, he jumps up into second place with that win. Lucas and Daddy G still hanging out back there with 9 points. And Numbskull starting to flex his muscle and starting to rise to the top of the field as it is lap 6, and Numbskull on the front row with Lucas. Mind you, in that 3000 GT, who is no slouch as he gets that car moving, but Numbskull on the outside of the divided 180. And again, it's going to be Lucas crashing out in the construction zone. We'll have to take another look at that, but right now it's Daddy G giving everything to Numbskull, and Daddy G slides out, but he gets slammed into by Papa Pugsley. He'll pick up second, but to what avail? My goodness, Lucas, he gets the same spot as lap 1. He overcorrects the 3000 GT once again. As we take a look at it this time, almost once again hitting the construction workers. Got to be more careful. And what a sloppy round so far as we see Numbskull all over the place. It allows Daddy G to catch up to him. They get into the 270. Numbskull doesn't have this one won yet. Daddy G tries to turn him around. He turns himself around. He leaves the car parked right in the middle of the freeway. Papa Pugsley goes right through him, and it will be the door wide open for Numbskull with a 13.506, but at that point, he doesn't really need anything, and with 23 points and 2 races to go, there is no way that he can not make it to the finals. Numbskull is going to prove once again that team has got what it takes, as they are going to be in yet another major finals here at Brick Mountain Speedway. But it's lap 7 right now. There's still plenty to work out. Papa Pugsley, Lucas, Daddy G, all vying for that second spot into the finals as Lucas gets the early lead into turn 3. It'll be Lucas with a whole bumper full of Numbskull as Papa Pugsley is back there as well. It will be Lucas, Numbskull, Papa Pugsley, and Daddy G, all 4 finish the first lap of the night. All 4 cars will finish. It has been one of those kinds of nights so far. And for Lucas and EP Videos, they post a 12.450. Still not the fastest lap, but that is going to climb him a little bit closer in the points as we see Lucas has that 3000 GT into the 270 all by himself. But here comes Numbskull. Numbskull left, right, center. He doesn't know where he's going. He is just going for the finish line. And after 7 races, 1 race left to go to get our second contestant in the finals. It is Numbskull who is punching his ticket. Papa Pugsley with the 14 points. Lucas with the 14 points. Daddy G with 13. It is anybody's race. The advantage will go to Daddy G and Papa Pugsley as they will be in the front row. Lucas will have a lot of work to do. Numbskull already in the finals. He'll still start in the back. He's going to be in second right now, pushing that Alfa Romeo. He wants to see the defending champion in the finals with him. He doesn't want an easy road. Here comes Daddy G, but it gets deposited into the stands, and there goes Numbskull into the 270. It will be Papa Pugsley winning the race with a 13.505. Lucas coming in second. He will get 3 points added onto it. It won't be enough. The fastest lap is going to go to Numbskull. Is Daddy G okay? That is a huge hit, and not, if I recall, the first time he has gone down and over that cliff right there. And it was instant karma for Numbskull as he hangs it up in the 270. My goodness, folks. It was the Alfa Romeo. He is in front. He's going to try to cut across Numbskull, and he cuts across too much. And it is Daddy G on his own accord going off the track. Again, in the modified diecast series, he went off that in that same spot, and I do believe it was by Numbskull. We would have to go take a look, but again, instant karma reveals Numbskull on his side through the 270. Papa Pugsley in reverse. He picks up the 5 points. There's nothing he can do about the fastest lap, but the 5 points is all he will need, and it will be Papa Pugsley and Numbskull punching their tickets into the Survivor Series finals. Lucas of EP Videos, Daddy G, they just can't quite make it up with enough points tonight, and it will be on to the stands to watch the finals for those two teams. As we will take a look once again at Daddy G as they try to get that car back on the track. That was a huge impact, and we will have him in our thoughts. But for now, it is Numbskull and Papa Pugsley moving on to the Survivor Series finals. We've got one more group coming up for you next week. Those cars are banged up and they're beat up, but again, they are in the finals. They are representing their teams. For Numbskull, another finals. For Papa Pugsley, his first. Our second group will go off next week. They will have 8 laps to do it. Till then, we will see you next week, folks.